So I think some of the causes of the gap between consumer intent and what we're seeing on the business side in terms of results for AI is really an infrastructure issue. I think it's down to architectures. Consumers, we know, are very willing to research and shop on LLMs. Businesses have struggled to really understand this new paradigm of how to make their products discoverable and shoppable via LLMs. So for me, the gap is between broad consumer adoption, which is obviously very exciting as a consumer to suddenly be able to compare a million different products in an instant, with big organizations with legacy architectures for IT and for product catalogs that now have to catch up and really make that whole catalog understandable at a scale that they've never had to before. Before they invested in making catalogs kind of human scale, now they have to do it at machine scale.
It's a huge difference, but I know that you found a competitive edge in organizational alignment and change management, not the AI stack itself. What does that misalignment look like in practice, and how do you fix it?
So obviously we talk to a lot of customers and retailers, and what we see is there is a big misalignment on a couple of topics. The first misalignment is really around priorities. I think AI has so many great benefits that everyone sprints simultaneously in different directions. Like with mathematics, there's an order of operation. So you first have to get the data infrastructure right, and after that you can build additional infrastructure and software layers on top of that. And I think there's no order of operation at the moment. The order is everything all at once. So I think there's definitely that strategic, like really making sure we have a clear roadmap. And starting with the big, sometimes unsexy work before we can get to the sexy applications of AI. And then I think secondly, it's also a misalignment of skill sets. So it's a bit of a myth that everyone can do cutting edge AI. There's still a real scope for absolute experts in AI and AI engineers. So it's knowing where do you need deep expertise with AI experts and where do you need domain expertise, i.e. the people you already have in the business today that know the products, that know the systems. And a combination of those two, technical talent and real on-the-ground business knowledge, is I think what's gonna be successful in the future.
Darius, every day seems to bring a new level of AI advancement and innovation, but it's still, there's a lot of things that are still not quite ready yet. So with that in mind, especially looking at as we look at the second half of 2026 now, are product pages LLM ready yet? And how significant are the gaps for retailers trying to make the most of AI-driven discovery?
So the short answer is the vast majority of product pages are absolutely not LLM ready. We did a survey of 500 product pages. So we got the product page owners to submit their URLs to us. We put it through our own bespoke calculator, and it showed that fewer than 1% scored 80% LLM readiness score. And we see the key factors driving the fact that they are not ready as weak metadata, number one, so not enough metadata. The second thing is not enough intent data, so understanding what the intent behind the purchase might be, not just what the product actually is. And then also trust signals. So this is user-generated content, reviews, etc. LLMs don't just look at all information, doesn't weigh all information as the same. So yes, it needs the intent data to match the query to the product. It needs the rich product information, so again, the matching process can happen, so color, cut, size, etc. And then all the other metadata, like shipping dates. If you are asking it for something for tomorrow, you better have your shipping dates ready. Size of the goods, can it be delivered? So all of that more pragmatic metadata. But then vitally, as I said, some of those trust cues, like what did people talk about on Trustpilot, on Reddit? What are reviewers saying on YouTube? So those things, and packaging all of it up into an architecture that's, again, at machine scale.
There are still advances still to come then. Looking ahead then, Darius, what's the one organizational capability retailers need to build now to be ready for agentic commerce at scale?
So it's a cliche, but definitely agility. I think agility, not just in terms of a skill set, so staying agile, looking at the market and responding to that market very quickly, but also agility of more technical background aspects of the business. So agility in tech stack. So today, building your own tech stack with so many changes happening is out of operation for most companies. So instead, it's about really smartly layering different tech stacks together to produce the desired results. Many of the CMOs I've been speaking to here at Cannes say more and more we are marketing technologists. Our job is making sure that we choose the right technologies, thread them together so they work synergistically to achieve the best outcome. So really, I think that's going to be the key skill, agility, and then combining different tech stacks as harmoniously as possible.
Darius, one more looking forward question for you. I know AI platforms are increasingly becoming transaction channels, not just discovery surfaces. What does it mean for retailers that the infrastructure to connect their commerce stack directly to these platforms now exists, and what's the risk for those who wait?
So I'm going to start with the second part. Those who wait, I think, will absolutely get left behind. I think this is very much a race, so you have to get in the race very quickly. LLMs definitely reward direct connections. So this is why at Mirakl we've just launched agentic activation, our product that does two things. The first is connect our retailers and any other enterprise level customer directly to LLMs. So that simple, clear connector is very important, so that constant data stream is there and the connection is made. That obviously improves over time. And then the second thing is geo, so it's making sure your product data is in the right format and is expansive enough so that not only can people discover your product, but they can also then transact. And that is about making sure, again, you have your shipping dates, you are routing the orders to the right customers in the right place. So the more difficult architecture, but